And again, if you're watching this and the cloud background makes you dizzy, please let me know. And I will cease to start using it. Cease to be using it in the future. Alright, here we go. Umpqua. Like a battle cry. Umpqua. Umpqua. Ooh, Umpqua goes up, man. What? Stonks go up. No, man. Umpqua goes up. Ooh, Umpqua is always also a fairly old company. I mean, comparatively old for a lot of the, you know, the new young guns that we see popping up here. What do these do? Ooh, oh my goodness. That was a rough 2020. Holy moly. It's a shame I can't go back any more quarters, because I kind of want to see what quarter 2 and quarter 1 look like. That must have been where all the losses were. Holy moly. That is crazy. So they operate as the holding company of Umpqua Bank. Provides commercial retail banking. So, yeah, they're a bank. 265 locations, including Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Nevada. So American Northwest? Yeah. I know my directions. A company was founded in 1953 and is headquartered in Portland, Oregon. I'm sorry. Okay. I mean, chart is definitely impressive. Chart is definitely impressive, but then again, it is coming off the lows of COVID, where apparently it did absolutely, it got slaughtered in 2020. How does a bank get slaughtered in 2020, by the way? Because no other banks that I know of did terrible. Although, you know, I wonder if... Actually, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because the revenues are roughly in line with prior years, albeit a little lower, but that's to be expected, I guess. How did earnings take such a massive dive? I wonder if they made a I wonder if they bought something. I wonder if they purchased another company. Let's see if I can find articles for all the way back in 2020. Earnings transcript. No, earnings already surpassed estimates. No, I want full year reports, quarterly and annual results. That's what I want. I want annual results. Tell me about that and why it was terrible. Full year 2020 net loss of $1.5 billion. Company reported net loss due to the Goodwill Impairment of $1.8 billion in quarter 1. What is a Goodwill Impairment? I've never heard that term before. An accounting charge that companies record when Goodwill's carrying value on financial statements exceeds its fair value. Deterioration in the capability of acquired assets to generate cash flow. You know, I think I'm gonna give this. I like what I'm seeing here. I think I'm gonna give this a buy. And quarterly might show a bit of a slowdown, but banks are usually a pretty good bet. Ooh, share repurchase plan. I like that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a buy. So I'm gonna give the rest of this time, all 5 minutes or 5 seconds of it, to reading about what a goodwill impairment is. Tell you what, so I don't cheat. I want to go back and read about what a goodwill impairment is because I want to learn, and I want you to learn. So that I don't cheat and use what I may learn there to change my opinion of what I'm about to do here, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a buy for this right now. So it's done and locked in after the 5-minute timer is up, because you know I kind of like what I'm seeing. Banks are usually a good bet. Seems like it's had a good run up recently, and I see no reason why it can't slow down. I think it might have momentum behind it. Is one way to put it. But I want to learn about what a goodwill impairment is, because I've never heard of this thing before. It is an accounting charge that companies record when goodwill's carrying value on financial systems. Carrying value is also something I have not heard of before. An accounting measure of value in which the value of an asset or company is based on the figures in the respective company's balance sheet. For physical assets such as machinery or computer hardware, carrying cost is calculated as original cost minus accumulated depreciation. That makes sense. If the company purchases a patent or other intellectual property item, then the formula for carrying value is original cost minus amortization expense. A measure of value for the company's assets. Okay, that makes sense. So it's basically the sum value of the company's assets. So an accounting charge when companies record when goodwill's... I don't know what it means by goodwill in this case. Goodwill definition is an intangible asset that is associated with purchase of one company by another. Oh, so this may in fact be due to a purchase of another company by this company. It is associated with the purchase of one company by another. Specifically, goodwill is the portion of the purchase price that is higher than the sum of the net fair... Oh, aha! Okay. Higher than the sum of the net fair value of all the assets purchased in the acquisition and liabilities assumed in the process. Okay. Pieces are starting to come together here. The goodwill's carrying value on financial statements exceeds its fair value. In accounting, goodwill is recorded after the company acquires assets and liabilities and pays a price in excess of their identifiable net value. So they bought something. Goodwill impairment arises when there is deterioration in the capabilities of acquired assets to generate cash flow, and the fair value of the goodwill dips below its book value. So it's kind of like you bought another company, but then it fails to be able to return on the investment. That's what I'm reading this as. Perhaps the most famous goodwill impairment charge was the $54.2 billion reported in 2002 for AOL Time Warner Inc. merger. This was at the time the largest goodwill impairment loss ever reported by a company. I remember that merger, actually. Intangible asset that accounts for the excess purchase price of another company based on its proprietary or intellectual property, brand recognition, and patents, which is not easily quantifiable. An earnings charge of companies recording their income statements after they identify that there is... So it's not actual money that the company lost. It almost sounds like it may be outcome from a bad investment. Recorded in the first quarter, and higher salaries and employment benefits expense due to the significant increase in annual net mortgage banking revenue. But if it has to do with an acquisition, then who acquired who? That's what I can't figure out here. Okay. At least I got a better idea of what this means now. I'm probably not going to remember it. Probably not going to internalize a lot of this jargon because there's so much to remember and know, honestly. That's kind of why it's very difficult to be an expert in all of this stuff. Because there's just so much. Finance and economics is not easy to understand for people who even study it. So anybody who tells you otherwise is a liar with their pants engulfed in flames. But I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here. So that was a nice little trip down definition lane, trying to learn what goodwill impairments are. I certainly hope that was enlightening. I was about to say entertaining, but that's unlikely.